Hi, friends. I just wanted to say happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you have maybe some fun plans in store, whether it's with your special someone or your whole family and all your special kiddos. I wanted to just last week, I talked about some fun ideas to make Valentine's Day a fun family day. And we just have a scavenger hunt for a couple of fun items that we get maybe from the dollar spot at Target or the dollar store. Just little things that let them know that we were thinking of them and that we just wanted to get a little something special. Nothing extravagant, of course. This is not Christmas, and usually we take that time to jot a little note. And again, the scavenger hunt is just something fun that my kids look forward to every year. Another idea that I have learned about and that I just tried this morning was I gave my kids an opportunity to give the gift of words and appreciation. So we just sat around, we had some bagels and just kind of sitting, hanging out, made it a real relaxed thing. And I started it by just blessing each one of the kids and just commenting on the things that I appreciated about them and I valued in their personality and who they are. And then I gave each of the kids time to do that, and I did encourage them. They're 10, 9, and 6, and so of course that looked different for each of them, and two girls and a boy, personalities and all of that looked different for each of them. But I encouraged them to say something that hadn't been said yet before, and they could even just say one thing. It didn't have to be extravagant or. And I didn't give them any time to think about it either. Of course, they'll know this is coming next year because we plan to keep it a tradition. And so maybe they'll be thinking about it. So, anyway, just kind of a fun idea of something you could do at the dinner table tonight. Maybe you've planned some sort of special dessert or something you do before you go on a date with your honey is to just do that words of blessing. So, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the free printable that I've created for you about the five love languages. And so I don't know if you've ever heard of the five love languages, but Gary Chapman has written several books that are widely celebrated and talked about, and they're easily available in all the, wherever you can buy books. There's the five love languages for kids, for couples, for teens, just kind of covers everything that you would like to know. And so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, each one of them. There's touch. One of the love languages is touch. Words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, and acts of service. Now, when we think about those things, if there's not immediate connection, I wanted to go through each of them. The kind of first of all to highlight, though, is when we receive love language a certain way, and then we also tend to express a certain love language, and they're not necessarily the same. So that's kind of an interesting thing to think about as you think through your relationships with your kids and your spouse, extended family, friends, and all that sort of stuff. There might be some sort of disconnect there. That's really worth reading the books out there and thinking through some of that. So in the printable that I have for you that you can just print out, the first page gives you ideas of I've called it the love language indicators. And I've divided them into 5 categories. And you could look through each one. So the first one I have touch, to know if your kiddo, and maybe you want to apply this to your spouse, but we're talking about love languages with kids. You might think of the one who always wants to be picked up or held, or maybe the one who always is loving to wrestle or be tickled. And their primary love language might be touch, or maybe the person who always is wanting you to make their favorite meal instead of them fixing it themselves, even if they're capable. So just thinking through some of that, and then I have this whole list as well, giving ideas of what to do to meet that love language. So if they maybe gifts is their love language, and so you might make sure if you're traveling away from them for an extended period of time, that you take a couple minutes and pick out just a little something that lets them know that you were thinking of them. And that doesn't mean any trinket. You might want to pick out something maybe like a pen or pencil from the area that you're traveling because they love to add a pencil to their collection or a pen or just maybe a coloring book or something really simple, just a way to express that you were thinking of them. So a couple things I just wanted to bring up. One of the things is that we all have a desire to be loved through these five different ways, but we each have a primary love language. And that's kind of what we're getting at, that you start thinking about what their most felt need is and how you can fill their love bucket. Because we all have had those points when our love bucket ran empty and we really needed to fill it up. And this is a great way to help understand it for yourself and to be able to articulate your needs better and things like that. So, one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that we covered this in the month of February was not just for Valentine's Day, but because this is a tool that I use to help build my Super Summer Challenge. Now, Linda Wicks wrote a book called Super Summer Challenge. She's spoken on it at different moms conferences, women's conferences for years, and we find it an incredibly valuable resource. And so one of the things that I have enjoyed doing is kind of breaking it down into simpler steps. So when the summer comes around, you are ready to put together your Super Summer Challenge in just a few minutes with just a few different things that you've collected over the months. And one of the ways to best come up with rewards and other fun options for your Super Summer Challenge is to know your kids' love languages and tailor it accordingly. So that's kind of one of the reasons why we wanted to create this free printable for you. As summer seems a long way off, especially when it's cold and dreary, but it'll be here before we know it. And this is just one valuable tool that even if you never did the Super Summer Challenge, but this is a really valuable way to know how to love your kids well and meet the needs that they have. Alrighty, hope you have a happy Valentine's Day, and we'll see you soon.